Hey everybody. So I did a video before on alcohol inks, and so I thought I'd do another one really quick. I got some new alcohol inks that came in, and they have a new one out called Alloy. The one I had before was Mixative. So the difference, no, you can't see that, between the difference between Mixative and Alloy. The Mixative is what I use to make this, and you kind of see how the silver sits on top of the color, and the Alloy is supposed to blend in more with the color. So I figured, why not test it out and see? And they had this awesome little tool where you can blow the alcohol ink around, and you can also use a heat gun to set it, but I normally like to just let it dry on its own because it looks different. Here's the card that I made with the background that I made the other day. It turned out a little more brown than I wanted, kind of muddied the colors a little bit, but I thought that was perfect for the little turtle, and you can see the gold that sits on top of the color. So I'm gonna just do a couple little drops here. I'm gonna use several different bright colors just to kind of get us happy. So if you're like me, I love watching the colors run out. Let's do a pink, and you can see they're still kind of spreading on their own. This, I don't know how much of a difference this is going to be. You just kind of drip it and squirt it and dot it, and you can blow the colors around to make them move. If you see that it's drying, that's where you use your alcohol blending solution, and you can just put a little drip on here and kind of blow this out, and you see how that moved all the way across. You can also use rubbing alcohol in just like a little spritz bottle, and that gives it a little different effect there. It's kind of a speckled effect if that's what you're going for. If it's not, then you just blow it around a little bit and use a little bit of your blending solution here. I'm gonna add some Laguna so it's not quite so dark, which it's maybe dark anyways. And add a little yellow. And you can see when the colors mix, they kind of blend together. You can move them around to get a different look. If you don't like the look of the mist from the alcohol, you can take the top off and kind of put little drops, and that will kind of spread the colors out as well. That area is looking a little bit dark there. But I just love these because they never turn out the same. It's always a little bit different every time you do one, which that might be a good thing, and it might be a bad thing if you're trying to mass produce cards that are all the same. Normally when I sit down to make a card, I'll make, you know, 4 or 5 different cards and use the same everything. So I have a stash of cards that I can go to, and you know, if I don't have time to sit down and make a card, then I can just pull one out of my stash and go ahead and use that. But when you're doing cards with these kind of backgrounds, you kind of have to go with it. So, alright, now I'm going to add a little of the alloy. Oh my goodness, Tracy. If you're watching this, this has your name written all over it. It's like sparkly. As I drop it, I don't know if you can see it. Oh my goodness, it's like glitter on there. That is so cool. So those of you that don't know my friend Tracy, she is all about the sparkle. Anything glittery or sparkly, she loves it. So you can kind of see this is blending in more so than the other colors did, which I think is pretty cool. So let's put a little green here. Finish this background out. And remember, I don't always go all the way up to the edge because for me, I cut this down to a card base size. And this is a card I made, so you can kind of see that it's a lot bigger than what my base is going to be. So I'll trim some of this off. Let's add a little bit of this pink over here, here. And I'm working on a mat. It's a Tim Holtz mat. I don't even remember what it's called. I should know that, but I don't. But the great thing about this is you can just use alcohol. If you get like a little drip over there like I did, you can just use that and wipe it off, and it's not going to damage your mat at all. Add a little of the alloy here. There goes that lovely sparklies. I'm going to put 2 drops there and put a little bit of my blending solution on here. It's like it's bubbling. I don't know if you can see that in the video. So cool. And I think, let me add, there's one little spot I see here that needs a little something something. Add a little yellow around the outside here. And you can see where that's blending in with the other colors. The thing with the alcohol inks is you don't want to get too crazy with it, because then your colors are going to get like blended and kind of muddied. Where the oxide inks, if you're doing oxide inks, that's not like dropping things on, but it's an ink that you can rub on. And I don't have a card I made with that. I've sent that out already. But it actually, you can blend it to make your background and then mist it and get the same effect that you get with this, just with water. So this, for me, has just been really cool to play with. So I kind of make my background and then figure out what kind of card I'm going to do. So I hope you like the card background that I'm making here, and then I'll come back and show you a picture once it dries, so you kind of get an idea of what the final background looks like. I'm going to add some more speckles here. Easier said than done. I really like the dotted look here. Alright, I think we've got enough drips and drops of colors. I will come back later and take a picture and share my final outcome with you, but this is it, still wet. There are some places that are already dry, but if I was to take this, you can see some of that's still wet and moves, and it'll do that until the colors completely dry on the paper. So, all right, come back and check us out later.